Hello there, everybody, this is General Snivy and welcome back to more of the Quest 64 playthrough. In today's session, we're possibly going to be finishing up this game, though I doubt it to an extent. And the reason why I say this is because, well, we're at the very last major area of the game. And so, there's only one obstacle left to conquer, or one major area left to conquer, and that is the Brandark Castle Town. So, with that in mind, let's get things underway. So, I don't even know what I was going to say, dang it. Before we head into the main gates, of course we're going to be meeting some good old friends. First off, we have a couple of Rockies, as well as a new enemy who looks like Zeus from Greek mythology. I wonder what he's called. Probably something stupid. We'll see. We'll see for sure. He is an ogre. He does not look like an ogre. And I know an ogre. And he's definitely not an ogre. Seriously. Like, what the hell? Vampire's Touch. I think I know what this is. Aha! Yeah, as I thought. Vampire's Touch is a spell that, upon whacking your enemies and dealing damage to them, you'll restore some of your HP in return. So that's pretty neat. Fire Pillar? There we go. Fire Pillar is a spell of which we've used or had used against us a few times. And yeah, it is a pretty powerful attack. I did not mean to do that. I am a freaking goober. Oh well. Actually, yeah, I did mean to do that, so whatever. I'll take it, regardless. Anywho. Let's go ahead and level up some spirits. And I know there's another one not too far off from where we are now. There's one over here, and there's also one along a very, very long walkway. Awesome. Cool. Water, Earth, as well as Wind are now up to level 33. Getting closer to Earth at level 36, which is awesome. Okay, now we have some red nose what? What am I talking about? Like red-nosed reindeer? I don't get it. Anyway, these are Red Rose Knights. As expected, these guys are pretty dang dangerous, as their primary attack is like this large cutter, which can deal a ton of damage upon contact. And avoiding it is rather difficult. It's honestly a really difficult thing to avoid. And if you can avoid it, great. Otherwise, I'm not sure what else they can do as far as attacks are concerned. Okay. And with that, we're basically good here. Of course, more Red Rose Knights show up. They also tend to get up close and personal, like up in your face and everything. So that is something you need to keep in mind. They also have a tendency as well to raise their agility upon being too far away from you. But for the most part, you should be fine. Just again, drop rocks on the enemy's heads and eventually you will win the day. And if anything else, you can always use the Vampire Touch. That also works relatively well, too. Okay, let's get moving. By the way, we do have a new follower as of 6 hours ago, according to Twitch, and it is KetsuQT. Thank you so much for the follow, dude. Hope you enjoy your stay here if you're watching the stream right now. I mean, if you're not, then you're not. But regardless, I appreciate the follow nonetheless. Anywho, welcome to this castle town. This place doesn't seem very welcoming because there's not a whole lot of buildings of which we could enter. Although for whatever reason it looks like we could enter. A hotel. This is unexpected. A shadow has fallen on the city. King Bigius brings pain and anguish to all. He has rounded up and jailed many who rose against him. It's even possible your father's in prison if he tried to challenge the king's powers. That is a very big possibility, and a real one at that. Why would someone come to Brannock when war is about to break out? Why don't you stop for a rest while there's still time? Might as well, after all. Also, hello, Sean. Welcome to the stream. Glad you can make it. Anywho, we're possibly going to be finishing up the game today, and if not, we're going to get really close. Yes, I did just start streaming. I started streaming about 11 minutes ago. So, you're just in time to, you're just in time for the show to begin. Right now, we're kind of doing a little bit of, exploring before we head into the main fortress itself, which is going to be rather fun. King Bigius has some kind of madman working for him now. His name is, Guilty? Great name for a character. Guilty. I think. He just showed up one day from who knows where. His experiments with magic have made the town a living mess. I think he was trying to say a living hell, but because they wanted to keep this game rated E for everyone, they tried to keep it more in line with saying it's a mess, which makes sense. I haven't had a customer in ages. Why don't I just give you a pair of black wings? And it's important that you understand that wings will only work in wide open spaces. Of course. So with these black wings, we can return to this city at any time if we so desire. So that's pretty neat. Although, I'm not really sure if you really need to, quote-unquote, return here at any given moment. But even so, it is an option and something you can do nonetheless. Okay, so you can open some of these doors. I guess some of them open and some of them don't. It looks like some of these people, Okay. That's fine. I'm glad that you popped in just to say hello. It's good to hear from you again, buddy. Anyway, back to what I was saying earlier. The people here really aren't going to be explaining very much as far as lore is concerned. It's just everything has literally gone to hell. It's just not a good place to live, and yet they're still sticking around, trying to hold on to that little bit of hope that maybe, just maybe, this town can be restored to its former glory. That's basically the vibe I'm getting at here, and what's going on with this town and its townspeople, how they're feeling, and what's going down. Anywho, let's continue our exploration. Idle chatter will get us nowhere. King Bigius is set on burning everything in sight. Okay, not very useful information. If you run out of hero's drinks, come back. I have plenty. A child like you shouldn't be in a hurry to die. Okay, cool. So we can come here at any time to refill on hero drinks. Which, yeah, they recover 40 MP, which is nice. You, a magician? What's going on here? Just the other day, we captured another magician, but he was older and seemed to have great powers, but I doubt that he survived our king's wrath. Oh dear. Sounds like to me that could be our father who got captured. I wonder if he's being held for execution or treason. I have no idea what's going on. Guess we'll have to rush into the castle in order to find out what's going on, and maybe we can even save our dad before things are going south. Or before things go south, rather, but you know, you get the point. Okay, before we head off to the main fortress, let's see, I think there's one more building I could enter. Maybe? I guess not. Alrighty then. Guess we're moving on. Time to head into the main fortress itself and take on the final challenges. Let's go. And there it is, folks. There it is. The Branark Castle. This castle is one huge fortress, let me tell you. But of course, getting inside is just going to be part of the game. And it's definitely not going to be easy. That much is certain. So the main part of this is just getting inside of the fortress. You may think that the front door is the best way of getting in. Well, I'm pretty sure that it's not going to be that easy. We won't be able to just waltz in, just like any other person in the world. We can't do that. Okay, all done with that. So the first part of this major challenge and major roadblock, of course, is getting inside of this fortress. You may be thinking, maybe we can just walk in through the front door. Well, I'm pretty sure you can't do that. But we'll find out in a moment. Of course, we have some old friends to deal with first. We did have a few new enemies just a few moments ago. But they're not really anything major. They're just recolors of enemies whom we fought previously. Plus, they have some new attacks that are considered to be pretty dang powerful. Oh, come on. How did that miss? How did all of those miss? Okay, this is clearly not working too well. Oh well. Goodbye. There we go, there's one down. Cool. Alright. Here we are, the front gate. And yep, just as I thought, we can't just open the front door and just waltz in. Instead, what we have to do is walk around the outskirts of this fortress and enter a back door. And then and only then will we be able to proceed forward. And before we head that way, in the right direction, I want to see what's on the other side first, because I'm pretty sure there may be some treasures, maybe a spirit, or maybe both. We'll definitely see as we make our way around. Oddly enough, I think while you're exploring the outskirts of this area... Oh, okay, there's nothing. Alrighty then. Good to know. Back to what I was saying, while you're exploring the outskirts for whatever reason, there doesn't seem to be too many enemy encounters, if any at all. So why that is, I'm not really too sure. But regardless, it is something worth mentioning nonetheless. Alright, up we go. Up this ramp of death. And as you can see, there is a spirit on the very end of this path here. However, progression is also behind that door there too. and we will be entering said door momentarily. First off, though, we need to grab this spirit, just so we can power up our spells even more. Which would be awesome. Although I kind of wonder, why is it that Brian doesn't just jump down from that little ledge? I get the fact that he's small and he has small legs and everything, but even so, though. Kind of ridiculous how you can't really jump down. I honestly don't get it. It's weird. The game is weird. Okay, in we go. Welcome to the fortress itself. Welcome to the main fortress of Broomore. Broomore? No, it's Bargoon. My mistake. And of course, we're welcomed by a Rose Knight as well as some other knights here, which I'm going to guess are White Nose. What? White Rose Knights. Apparently, I can't say Rose without saying Nose. White Rose Knights, I think they specialize more so in, like, long-range combat as opposed to close-range combat like the Red Rose Knights do. But regardless, they're basically the same sort of enemy as the Red Rose Knights. Just, I think they're slightly more powerful. I'm not too sure. I guess when we encounter more of them, and one still remains, we'll find out if they have any close-range potential. That is, if we encounter them again. Ow. Really? That hardly did anything. Well, granted, it didn't hit very many enemies. Okay, at least it hit one. There we go. There goes a couple more. Goodbye. Now, this place, I'm pretty sure, is a very linear sort of dungeon. So the only direction you really have to go through here is forward. And I don't think it's very easy to get lost in this place. Thankfully, it is clearly signified and kind of unique. Granted, it is kind of empty and barren, which is kind of annoying. Which makes things such as identifying landmarks that much more difficult. But again, as I said before, so long as you keep moving forward, you should be able to get through the place without too much trouble. The only time you would run into trouble, per se, is if the enemies here decide to raid your booty and just completely dodge every attack you throw at them. Okay, it looks like the Red, or the White Rose Knights, rather, they do not have a melee attack of any sort, and they're the easier of the two knights to dodge. And honestly, they're not as dangerous as the Red Rose Knights for whatever reason. I'm not sure why that is. It's a bit weird, if you ask me. But whatever, the game just loves throwing strange things at you all the time. Ooh, a chest. What do we got? Dragon's Potion. Okay, I'll gladly take that. This, I think, is progression. I want to know what's over here first. Pretty sure this leads either to another room or a dead end. I'm not too sure in this regard. Okay, I have a feeling this is progression. The other place was to something completely different. It's like an off-beaten path of sorts. By the way, I believe the exit spell can work in this particular castle, since it is technically a dungeon. It is a dungeon. What more is there to say? Okay, so this room I thought was progression actually is not. There's not a whole lot in here except a spirit. And really, that's the only thing that's in here. That's it. Kind of weird. Also, what's up with that checkerboard pattern on the floor there? Does this room have a purpose other than just to exist? I guess not. I mean, it does feature a spirit within that room, which is nice, but even so, though. God damn it. I'm surprised that the Red Rose Knights can deal like 30 some damage per strike on their attacks. Like, my god. If you take too many hits on them, you can die extremely quickly, especially if you're doing like a low-level run or something, and you don't have a whole lot of defense to speak of. In which case, you'll probably die in like 1 to 2 hits, if you're not lucky. Honestly, I feel like luck plays a pretty major role when it comes to this game in particular. Like when it comes to being able to whack your enemies and being able to cast spells of basically any variety out there. If you're unlucky, then you're not going to be able to get much of anywhere or get anything done. Anyway, onward to the next part of the castle. Oh, hello there. How you all doing, boys? Okay, so it appears that their homing arrow attacks, they deal a lot of damage per hit. So they can potentially be just as dangerous as the Red Rose Knights, albeit their attacks are not really that strong. The only reason why I bring up the fact that they can be kind of powerful is because of the power of math. For every attack that hits you, that's a lot of damage, at least 10 damage per hit. Which is really deadly if, all things considered. It does add up really quickly. Especially if multiple attacks hit you all at once. Seriously? Okay. That helps. By the way, I'm not sure what the actual percentage is for a vampire's touch is. If I have to guess, it's about 90% it'll actually work. Then again, maybe it works all the time for every time you use it. I really don't know, but regardless, it can be a useful spell in desperate situations where you need to recover health more quickly. Dang, that was nice. Seriously? Goodbye. Alright. Just got you left and then we'll be on our way. I said we just have you left. Thank you. At this point in the game, I'm pretty sure that the enemies will give out a good chunk of experience. Which, again, that makes sense. We are getting close to Endgame here. So, that's nice. Okay. Hello, who are you? You are guilty. I have just been using you to experiment. Now give me all the magical powers that you have obtained. How about no, you jerk? Alright, folks. Say hello to Guilty. Guilty is someone who has experimented on himself and made him, oh no. Magic barrier. There we go. Guilty is a very big target, though he does have pretty high earth resistances. He's also a pretty powerful target too, who can deal a lot of damage to you if you don't have your magic barrier up. There's also no shame in using like a hero's drink or something to that extent. Again, if you have magic barrier, you basically won the entire game. Just gotta keep doing what we are doing here. Just keep dropping rocks on the enemy's heads, rocking them like a freaking hurricane. Putting up... Oh crap, this is gonna be bad. Okay, good. At least the timer didn't completely vanish. Or the barrier didn't vanish, which I'm glad. I'm glad it didn't. Seriously? Well, this definitely isn't good. May have to drink one of my hero drinks soon. Oof! Yeah. That hurt. Boop. Problem solved. Probably shouldn't have chanced it with the... not activating the magic barrier on the second turn. Oh well. I'm surprised that Guilty is just standing so freaking strong right now. That was my fault. Shouldn't have done that. Come on, really? This is probably really bad RNG that I'm getting right now when it comes to this attack. Oh shoot, this is gonna be bad. Ow. Thank you. I'm not sure how much HP Guilty has, but regardless, he does have quite a lot of HP for a boss of this magnitude. I mean, it makes sense. This is one of the last major bosses in the game. Okay. Please die. For the love of God, just die. I'm honestly surprised that this guy is holding up as well as he is right now. A lot like some of the earlier bosses whom we fought over the last few play sessions now. You gotta be kidding. And I was a dummy again. Oh, there we go. There we go. Whew! That was close. That was way too close for comfort. I did not mean to do that. Oops. Well, Guilty is guilty of treason, and he is frickin' deader than frickin' grass. Man, I love doing that. Anyway, before we move on, let us restore our frickin' MP by running around in circles. Thankfully, as you're running around in this room, you don't have to worry about enemy encounters at all whatsoever. You can just simply run around in circles, restore your MP, and thankfully, upon defeating Guilty, you do get a full HP restore. So that is awesome. I'm honestly really surprised that I had to drink one of my hero drinks in order to even get back up on my feet. But alas, it is what it is. And I'm okay with that. Now, despite the fact that Guilty was a major boss, we still have more of this castle to go. And he's not the only boss that's here. Believe it or not, there's actually 2 of them within this dungeon. Thankfully though, like I said before though, bosses do not respawn. Bosses thankfully don't respawn, but regular enemies will just pop out of nowhere. And inside of boss rooms, you don't have to worry about enemy encounters whatsoever, which is also pretty sweet. As you can use that time to essentially prepare yourself for later parts. Or more or less restore your HP, get your MP back up. You know, just overall make things much easier on yourself, if you know what I mean. I'm honestly surprised that we're almost up to 400 HP right now, which is pretty insane. Granted, we still have the rough road ahead, but I know we'll be able to take it on, and take it on with gusto. As I say, as I completely miss. Come on, really? There we go. Much better. Okay, let's keep moving. Oh, come on, seriously? I just got done an encounter, too. Ha! Nice. One other thing I haven't pointed out yet about the White Rose Knights is that they also have a tendency to increase their defenses, unlike the Red Rose Knights, which increase their agility. And the reason why they do defense, I really don't know. I think that's just how they're programmed. It's best not to question these things. Just gotta accept that it is the way it is. Alright. Let's see what we got next. Well, in here we have another item. Another hero's drink, I'll gladly take that. At least I got my hero's drink back from before. And we have a healing potion too. So there's not really a whole lot to this room other than just a few treasure chests. Which honestly, that's not a bad deal if you ask me. Okay, let us move on. I think the only enemies we'll be fighting in this castle are going to be the White Rose Knights, as well as the White Rose Knights, as well as the Red Rose Knights. Okay. Sit down. Thank you. Okay, that's good enough. Let's see what we got next. Of course, more trouble. Honestly, these guys really aren't that bad. They do take a while to take down, but again, so long as you have Avalanche, this will be easy. Magic Barrier can also come to the rescue too if things get absolutely desperate. There we go. That's how it's done. I seriously wonder though, how is it that we're even able to use a spell like Avalanche inside of this castle, which its ceilings are not very high up? I honestly do not understand. Weird video game logic at its finest, folks. There. Oh, come on. You're not dead yet? There. Alright, let us move on. I'm pretty sure we'll come across another door, and I believe this is it, right here. Not this chest, but the one across it. Mint leaves. Not that I really need them. Okay, within this room we'll have a few chests. We have a spirit light, which, what does that do? Guess we'll find out in a second. Sacred water restores full HP. Okay, makes sense. Okay, here we have a silver amulet. Next is a healing potion. Then we have Celine's bell. And finally, a dragon's potion. Nice. Your name is Leonardo, huh? Like Leonardo da Vinci? Or Leonardo DiCaprio? I'll get it. Lord Bartholomew's been taken to a remote hiding place, Brian. I came here to rescue him, but I didn't make it in time. If you have the courage to go on, I'll help you regain your strength. How about it? Okay. Cool, so he's here to help us out by offering us a place to rest. So that's pretty nice. And also marks as a checkpoint too, so if you end up dying, you'll just return to this point in the castle instead of all the way back in the castle town. Or even before then. So that's nice. Seriously? There we go, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to see from Avalanche. Really? Again? I'm not sure if there's some sort of magical range that you have to be in order for Avalanche to be the most effective. But I feel as though the bigger the target is, the more likely they'll get hit by Avalanche. So, I guess take that as you will and use the enemy's size to their advantage. You know what they say, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Quite literally. I know, because I'm a 6'5" man, and when I fall hard. And it hurts like hell. Whoa, what do we have here? First off, some chests. Spirit light, always nice to have something like that. Not only that, we also have another one, which is a golden amulet. Cool. Nice item to have, especially at this point in the game. What is this strange floor, this strange marking? It looks like a layout of the entire continent. Shannon? Am I talking to Shannon? Yes. Hello again, Master Apprentice. Your power is much greater than I expected. It must be because you are a true magician. This fellow challenged me to a fight, even though he's hurt, just because I told him about you. His life was in danger. He tried to stop me, although he couldn't lift a finger. Why does he trouble himself so? I don't understand. You can't escape this room. You will have to move forward if you want to rescue your father. You don't have a choice. Your fate and your father's are in my hands. Do as you're told. Oh my. Brian, how did you find me? How did you get here? Quick, run for it. This place is a trap. You must have lured... You must have been lured here by that evil puppet Shannon. Even Bigius was taken in by her cunning. The Elatail book is much more than even I thought. Oh, so looks like we found our father. Wow. I mean, he's barely standing, but he's alive. Somehow. So, that's great. We found our father, we're reunited, and there's really not much else here going on. Other than, we need to move on. We need to move on to bigger and better things. I'm kind of surprised that Shannon is literally a she. I mean, granted, I kind of had the feeling that it was a she, but you never know. Let's try Fire Pillar. Okay, that hardly did diddly. Well, of course, he does have his defenses increased, which, again, that makes sense. Okay, all done with that. So, at this point now, we basically have to move on and avenge our father. Although he's not really dead. It's more like we have to finish what he started. I wonder what this will do. Okay, so confusion, what that does is it puts up this ring barrier of sorts around Brian. And so as a result, where the hell did that spell go? Anyway, back to what I was saying. As a result, the circle will allow you to restore your MP for every hit you take. So, it is a pretty useful spell if you need to recover MP quickly. Granted, it does leave you pretty vulnerable though, so that's something you need to keep in mind. I don't think confusion or anything like that will decrease your defenses or anything. So, if you need to restore your MP quickly in battle, confusion's not a bad spell. Use confusion along with the combination of just whacking your enemies with your stick, and you should be okay. Okay. What do we got in here? Well, folks, it looks like we have the next boss. And I definitely want to restore all my MP before we begin the battle. Because this guy can be a pretty painful enemy to take down. Even with the magic barrier and avalanche combination. This is also a good place if you happen to have the giant shoes, use them in this fight. Hello, Biggest. It seems Fargo and Guilty were not as powerful as they boast, but my power is absolute, and before my greatness, your pathetic human magic is naught but child's play. Ha ha ha! Oh, I wouldn't say that. So anyway, the name of this battle is getting up close and personal to this guy as fast as humanly possible. But of course that's not going to be easy, considering what you have to do. And there's also no straight path towards where this boss is, either. You have to take the little bridge that's right next to him in order to even reach him in the first place. Afterwards, we just need to get up close and personal in the space. And of course, do the old 1-2. Magic barrier, drop rocks on the enemy's head. The end. That's how you win. This guy can be a very powerful adversary if you don't have magic barrier. I'm not sure how much damage he can deal. I guess we'll find out now. Okay then. Somehow we lived. Or somehow we didn't take any damage that time. I'm kind of surprised. Okay. His two main attacks are just a ranged slice attack, which I believe has like a wind attribute tied to it, and he also has a powerful beam that he shoots from his sword. And that beam can be pretty devastating if you let it hit you. Other than that, though, he doesn't seem to be that bad right now. Of course, I say this as I'm still working on dropping rocks on the enemy's heads and rocking them like a frickin' hurricane. And again, if it all comes down to it, and you need to restore your MP, you can always use the spell Confusion if you have it, and if not, then you can use a healing item, which restores your MP. Either way, restoring MP is pretty vital in order to keep up a strategy such as this. Especially considering the fact that this boss does have a ton of HP. Like some of the largest amount of HP for any boss in the game. I'm not sure how much exactly, but it is a lot. I'm pretty sure it's over 1,000. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's a little over 1,000. And there we go. He's done. Nice. 400 HP now. Well, that's done. He is defeated and is no more. Kind of surprising that he is so freaking weak to freaking boulders dropping on his head. Same with every other boss whom we fought at this point in the game. Okay. Well, there's not a whole lot left to this castle, as now we're making our way to the very top, and we'll probably find out where the hell this book is. This Elatail book that we've been searching for all this time, along with our father. Well, before we go, there is definitely a little tiny bit of exploring left to do. And I think Shannon will provide us with some useful information. What took you so long? King Begius wasn't a big problem, was he? Nothing like the power held by Mammon, Solvering Zealousy, Nepti Fargo. These four Guardians hold the power of the 4 magic gems. Feel the power within you. You now have the strength to open the way to where Mammon awaits. Here is the Elatail book, long sought by your father. Take it and go past the stone circle. Why do you have this book, and why didn't you just give it to us in the first place? I am a soulless puppet made to serve my Lord Mammon. I will help Mammon destroy everything that holds the wonder of life. You cannot go forward from here. This leads to oblivion, and I will be free to start from the beginning. Oh my. Well, anyway, here's the book. It's a book written about the power that exceeds the spirit. It's an item that cannot be used in any way, shape, or form, and I don't think it can be used in battle either. So it's basically an item that sits in your inventory for all eternity. So, even though we have the book back, I think gathering all the stones and everything, basically made it so Shannon is like the ultimate being in the ultimate life form. Oh dear. So in order to set her free, or just stop her evil plans, we need to defeat her master Mammon. And the only way to do that is to enter this gate right here. So, at this point, I'm pretty sure this is a point of no return. Once you step forward on this portal, it's the end of the game or nothing. This is all you can do. You won't be able to exit out of here as far as I'm aware. And if you can, I really don't know for sure. But regardless, once you step forward through here, it's time for the endgame, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to finish Quest 64. Let's go! And as you can see, we're in a bit of an acid trip. It looks as though this entire area is the monastery, which is completely destroyed. Although it's not quite as simple as that. Instead, it's more like a bit of an additional exploration in a huge maze-like world located someplace up Satan's butthole. I'm pretty sure this place has no spirits to speak of, but it may have some treasures here. So that is something to keep in mind. Also, new enemies. Here we have Judgment. Judgment are these giant statue-like things that will rain down a rock shower on you, as well as fire pillars. I don't even know how these statues are even alive, but they are a perfect candidate to rain down avalanche. Their attacks are also incredibly strong too. Not just them, but all enemies here. So be prepared. Be prepared to tank some serious hits. And also pray to God that you survive. Of course, you can always cheese the entire thing by putting up a magic barrier at the start of every battle, and then just continue that way, but really, where's the fun in that? Only save it for boss fights, really. It's just literally that cheap. Okay. Again, I'm not sure if the return spell will allow you to exit this place, and along with the exit spell for that matter, I haven't really tried it. I guess I can always go towards a rest location, save my progress real quick, and then test that theory, but we'll have to wait and see. Right now, though, we need to get through this acid trip. This acid trip of a world. And the reason why we're going through here is just so that way we can face Mammon and save the world. I'm dead freaking serious. This is literally the end. And we're only about an hour into this session, technically, so that's pretty extreme. And how freaking good Magic Barrier truly is. And as we're exploring this trippy land, we'll be going through some very familiar areas. And sometimes we may even run into dead ends such as this. If we head back out the way we came, we'll end up in a new area. So, yeah. Not a whole lot to say for this place, other than it's basically a race to the finish. And it may not be a bad idea to escape all these battles, But, again, where's the fun in just running away all the time? Unless you're a speedrunner, in which case that is pretty vital. Anyway, here we have Pale Riders. They kind of look like Pegasi. And, again, their weakness is dropping rocks on their heads, just like bosses. Really, they're not that difficult to deal with at all. Although, you kind of have to get going RNG with the rock shower in order for it to take full advantage of the spell, but regardless, it is something worth mentioning. These Pale Riders, I'm pretty sure have wind-style attacks, which they can be extremely deadly. The large cutter, I know, deals a lot of damage, like up to 50 damage per attack. And again, if your HP's not very high, you're not going to survive. At least not for very long. Okay, 56%. I wasn't sure how much our experience was at this point. I'm pretty sure you can level up and also gain level 50 for all your magical attributes. I'm not sure. Also, say hello to Pinhead. Who are you calling a Pinhead? Again, very big enemies, just rain rocks on their heads and you'll be able to completely annihilate them. No problem. They do have very big hitboxes though. Bigger than they should be. Which is kind of weird if you ask me. Although for some reason their melee attacks are nowhere near as dangerous as their magical-based attacks. Speaking of which... Oof, that was pretty scary. They almost completely killed me. And like I said, since this is the final dungeon, the enemies here are going to be super strong. And again, once you enter this dungeon, there's really no way out other than death. Alright, what do we got up here? Doesn't look like a whole lot. Nope, nothing here, so let's leave. And like I said, we're in a brand new area. Kind of strange how we pop up in these strange places. It's like a random house or just some random corridor that appears out of nowhere. Regardless, it is kind of weird if you ask me. Really? That didn't kill the other guy? The other Pinhead? Whew, that was pretty scary. Although I said that last time about the previous encounter, but regardless, it's still kind of scary. All enemies here are scary. They're also incredibly strong and are not afraid to completely wreck your face in. So, that is something worth mentioning. Alright, what do we got next? What a strange looking forest. It's not a frozen forest, but it is a forest, and it's probably filled with danger, such as that. It's a Sprigman? Not really sure what he is, but he does have a tendency to try to whack you and silence you as well, which is really, really bad. Thankfully, at this point, you should be more than strong enough to be able to whack him across the face a few times and just win the day overall. Okay. Let's see what's behind door number 2. This looks familiar. It's that one Viking ship that we went on a while ago, and for whatever reason, it leads to an entirely different part of this world. Also, for whatever reason, these long corridors exist and don't have any enemy encounters whatsoever. I mean, that's a good thing for as far as speedrunners are concerned, but it's also kind of boring. Why is it there's no sort of resistances whatsoever here? I honestly don't get it. But, whatever. It is what it is. And also, it does look kind of familiar, and it looks as though we traversed this way before. But, trust me, this is a new area. All you have to do is literally just keep moving forward. Even though you may be traversing over familiar territory, it doesn't mean that you're completely lost. Trust me. It's only going to get more weird from here. Ooh, you look familiar. Hello, Epona. I've been waiting for you. This is the very last place where someone might come to your aid. From this point on, no one will be able to help you. So will you rest now? What do you say? Yes. I am going to rest up. And as that person said, this is the last place where you can rest up. As going forward, there's no place to run or hide. Okay, so the return spell just simply does not work. Along with the other spell, too. Exit. So yeah, you're stuck here. Once you, accept her, proposal to save progress, that's it, you're stuck. You're literally stuck within this place forever. Unless you start the entire game all over again. Which, really, why would you do that in the first place? That's kind of a dumb idea. So, at this point now, you may be wondering, where do we go? We're kind of back in the first area again, though for whatever reason we can't enter any doors whatsoever. There's only like one door we could enter from, but we can't really do much of anything else here. This town is literally like in purgatory. And also, this door I don't think leads to anywhere. It's just there. Just to be like, yeah, hi, I'm a door. I'm not going to open it for you because you asked me to. No thanks. So, I'm also pretty sure you can't use any wings here either. I could be wrong. Yep, you can't use wings. Yep, you're literally stuck here. I mean, I have no regrets. I never said I was going for 100% completion of this game. Okay, off we go. And yet another familiar sight. Like I said, we will be traversing a lot of familiar ground as we're making our way through this trippy world. But, alas, it is what it is. Okay, that was kind of surprising. How only one of these frickin' pinheads actually took the brunt of the damage. The other ones just kind of stood there and avoided everything. There we go. Another one down. How are you still alive after all that crap? Whatever. Dang it! Did not mean to do that. Whatever, it's fine. Can always level up wind next time. If I can. Also, we have a new spell, Walking Water as well as Soul Searcher level 2. Soul Searcher level 2 will allow you to scan all enemies on the entire battlefield. So you'll be able to reveal all their information. In fact, I may just go ahead and demonstrate that ability right now. Okay. 580 HP. That's a lot of HP for a regular enemy. Okay, so walking water essentially is that towering level 3 water-like attack, which travels forward and attacks at a great range. How are these things missing me? I know I'm on a hill and everything, but still, it's kind of weird. Whatever, I'll gladly take it nonetheless, but still, really weird. Okay, off we go. What? Whoa, hello. Shannon, what the hell are you doing here? Brian, you've gotten this far. If you keep going forward, you'll find your quest. Then my job will be over too. I am a puppet made only for the purpose of leading you. I went out among the people so I might lead you. I knew nothing of the real world and its foolish people who are doomed to die. But why are humans so strong? With all their grief, sorrow, happiness, and anger, why do they shine so brightly? The warmth of fire, the winds of the field, the miracle of water, the abundant harvests. For all of these, they give their thanks with prayers. They tell me, Brian, is that what life is all about? I'm a puppet, and I just don't understand. I am not of the human spirit. Sorry to complain. If you have the book and the magic stone, this key will open the goal. Your job is over here. Farewell. And hello, robot regularity. Well then. I'm not too sure what Shannon just gave us. Oh, the Dark Gold Key. King Mammon's prison key. So, why did she give us this key exactly? Well, because this area, believe it or not, is where the final boss resides. So, with that in mind, let's go. Time to fight the final boss of Quest 64 and bring this almighty quest of the 64th power to a close. But first, let's get to the corner, because this is honestly the best spot to be. Ha 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 ha! Good to see you, Master Brian. We've been waiting and waiting. Thanks to the curse of the magician Epona, I've been shut up in this prison for 1,000 years. My wait is now over. You're the one who can set me free. Give me wings. I will be free. My time has come again. You have released me from my prison. And just to show my gratitude, I will not let you suffer. We'll just see about that, Mammon. So anyway, say hello to the final boss, Mammon. This guy has the most HP out of all enemies in the entire game. At, I think, 2,300 HP? Oh crap, this isn't gonna be good. I'm surprised I lived, or didn't take any damage for that matter. Mammon has 3 primary attacks, one of which is that barrier-like attack that he holds above his head, the other is the fire arrow-like attack, and there's one more attack that he'll unleash, probably not now, but definitely in a little while. But regardless, he'll unleash that attack that is like 3 walls of fire that'll come rushing at you. And let me tell you, that fire wall is one that brings the game down to a crawl. Like an absolute crawl. As far as when he's going to unleash it, I really don't know exactly. But we'll find out soon enough. Oh, here it is. As you can see, it drops the frame rate down to like, about 10 frames per second. Regardless, for whatever reason, just like with all the rest of the bosses in the entire game, the best strategy is, again, magic barrier, avalanche, repeat. By the way, this is the perfect opportunity to use any and all healing items of all kinds, whether it be HP or MP, as you're not going to get another chance to use them again. Although, you do have to survive the battle if you want to fully utilize them. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get those back, ever. Honestly, this boss can be pretty damn deadly. Oh, shoot. Well, this is going to be bad. How did I not take damage? I will never know. Anyone have any idea what the hell Mammon is supposed to be? He looks like some sort of I don't even know what the hell he's supposed to look like. But regardless, he definitely looks to be like final boss material, that's for certain. And as far as difficulty of this guy is concerned, I'm not really sure. Yeah, he's definitely some sort of devil man. That much is certain. Okay. Again, just gotta rock this guy like a frickin' hurricane. That's really the best thing you can do. Okay. Might be wise to use like a... You know what, let's save some of the full HP or full MP recovery items for later. Huh, it was originally called Larva? Huh, that's interesting. Let's see here. Why? Why am I dying? Why is this flesh decaying? Oh, why? Am I dying? Life. I hated it. This death. Peaceful sleep. Huh, interesting. Mammon has been destroyed, but I'm still here. But why? Was I not bound to Mammon for eternity? Master Brian, is this your doing? Deep inside me, I guess I always knew that you would be triumphant. The life force that is human is much greater than the force of evil could hope to obtain. Mammon was always jealous of you, humans, overflowing with the power of life. I have made a decision. I want to learn more of your human ways. I am leaving Celtaland in order to meet as many people as I can. Perhaps if I experience enough, I too may find my own humanity. Perhaps we will meet again, but until that time, you have my undying thanks. Farewell, Brian. Farewell, Shannon. Glad to see that you're free. There we go, folks. That's it. That's Quest 64. Before Brian's eyes, peace has slipped further and farther away, and the world of Mammon emerged. Mammon, driven by unprovoked jealousy, unsurprising brightness, and uniqueness of human life, but the scantiness of life force can never belong to Mammon, and Mammon has returned to the darkness in which it sprang. Only a few people know of Celtaland was saved from disaster by a young magician and his apprentice. People can now return peaceful daily lives, new towns from the ruins completely reborn. Those were injured or hurt were made whole again. Once more, the people are blessed with the warmth of fire, the winds carries cool water, fruits of the earth. The world will prosper forever as long as the people of the force maintain balance, and so the... Okay. Okay, so that's the thing about this game. Apparently the European and Japanese version of the game had a better ending when it comes to Quest 64. Also a better title like Eternal Holy War or something to that extent. Regardless, that's the game. And again, the true ending, and I think the canon ending of the game, lies in the European and Japanese release. I'm not 100% sure on that. But regardless, peace has been restored to the world. Everything is back. Okay, Holy Magic Century, as I thought. It showed up in one of the tags, like suggested tags on YouTube when I was uploading some of the previous play sessions of this game. Regardless, though, like I said, that's Quest 64. Is it really a mean game as people made it out to be? No. No, it isn't. And it never was, never will be. At least in my opinion. The game itself is fun, and I really do enjoy the game for what it is. It's a fun little adventure, and yeah, it has some serious flaws in it, and a lot of things just do not make any sort of sense whatsoever. Plus, speaking to the townspeople isn't really all that helpful, except maybe for early game. But overall, I do enjoy the game for what it is, and that's for its gameplay. The gameplay, honestly, is the best part of the entire game. The story, like I said before, I could care less. The story I really don't care about, as it's really not all that interesting. The TLDR of it is Brian's father noticed a disturbance in the world. He tried to go out and try to restore balance, and end up getting his butt handed to him on a freaking silver platter, and Brian has to take his place. So, essentially, Brian becomes the Avatar, and if only there was one more element added to the mix, he could have became Captain Planet. But seriously though, I'm not really sure how the 100% category of this game works when it comes to speedrunning. I know the main category really is any percent, and there is a 100% category, or kind of a 100% category. It was more like it has to do with how can I put this? Getting all the spirits in the world. Like, there's a total of 98 spirits lurking out there, and there are two possible ways you can get them all. The first way... Wow. So much was cut from Quest 64. That's very interesting. I would love to learn more about the game, maybe in like a form of a Did You Know Gaming video on the subject. But then again, maybe they're not really all that interested in that, and I don't really blame them. Again, like I said, the game is fun, but it does have some serious flaws. Like the story, some of the things that don't make a whole lot of sense, super cheap tactics, as I've clearly demonstrated over the past few play sessions, i.e. with Magic Barrier, as well as Avalanche being so OP and so strong. I'm just saying, it's just, yeah, that's the game, folks. That's the end of Quest 64 and the end of the adventure. And I think at this point, either the game will just return to the title screen, or I'm stuck. Okay, it returns to the title screen. Okay then. Well, like I said, I'm surprised this only lasted about an hour and 25 minutes, this whole session. So, like I said, folks, that's the end of Quest 64. Overall, a fun game, but with some serious flaws. Take it for what it is. And I personally enjoyed it for its gameplay aspects. It's a lot of fun to play through, and it's also fun to destroy. And by destroy, I mean like completely break into a million frickin' pieces within the game itself. And yeah, I overall had a really great time playing through this game for you guys, and honestly, it may not be a bad idea to pick up the game yourself and experience it for yourself. You may enjoy it as well, then again, you may be one of those people who just doesn't. And I totally get that. Not everyone is into games such as this. Especially Quest 64, which doesn't have the best story out there or the best gameplay. But honestly, the gameplay does make up for its shortcomings. At least in my opinion. Like I said, this was a fun game to play through again, and I'm glad I was able to do so for you guys. And I was also glad I'm able to showcase how broken the game can be, too. It's honestly a lot of fun to just break the game in so many ways. It honestly is. But anywho, like I said, this was fun. I had a great time, and I'm going to go ahead and call it a day here. There's not going to be any sort of bonus streams today, as I have a little bit of running around to do myself, but regardless, as far as what my next playthrough is going to be, it will be starting at the end of this week if things go all according to plan. But as far as what that's going to be, it's still being decided, though I have a pretty good idea of what I'm going to be doing next. And I will say this, the game that is on my mind has been highly requested of me since I run this game I'm talking about, its predecessor, and I speedrun the game on a weekly basis. Let's just say that. And also, okay, I'm done here. This is General Snivy with the Quest 64 playthrough. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you were able to attend the live stream live, thank you for attending. Next time is going to be a brand new adventure. As far as what that's going to be, I'm pretty sure I know what it is. But I'm going to leave it a surprise for you all for the end of the week. Anywho, again, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. See you all on the flip side.